Today's story, a heart-touching story about connection and loss, when a stranger became his greatest teacher. A boy named Jason Wells was 29. From the outside, it looked like he had it all: a stable job, a tech career, a decent apartment, and every device that money could buy. But inside, he was tired not of work, but of the weight he carried quietly every single day. The world praised productivity, but no one asked him how he was really doing. He had friends, but he stopped replying. Family, but he avoided their calls. Sometimes the scariest battles are the ones no one sees, the ones fought in silence, behind screens and fake smiles. And on one such night, after another failed project, another empty dinner, Jason just shut his laptop, put on his coat, and walked out. No direction, no plan. The city was quiet at 6 a.m., the kind of quiet that doesn't ask you questions. As he walked past empty streets and quiet trees, something caught his eye: a lonely bench under a willow tree. Old, a little cracked, but somehow inviting. He sat. No phone, no emails, no rush. Just a long exhale, the kind that feels like your soul finally breathed. The next morning, someone was already sitting on the bench, an older woman, soft-spoken, with silver hair and a kindness in her eyes that felt rare in today's world. She looked at him, smiled, and said, "You look like you're carrying the world. Want to rest it for a while?" He sat beside her. No words at first, just the silence of two strangers sharing a moment that didn't need explaining. Several days passing, they talked more: birds, seasons slowly changing. Over the next few mornings, Jason returned. There were no expectations, just warm sunrises, cool breezes, and her stories. Mrs. Harper told him about her late husband, Arthur, a kind, gentle man who used to bring her daisies every weekend. They weren't expensive, just simple, cheerful. He said they reminded him of my smile. She'd chuckle. He would cook for her handmade dumplings and her favorite, warm, buttery apple tart. Every Sunday night, always made with love. Even if he burned it sometimes, she'd say, smiling at the memory. But after Arthur passed, the daisies stopped. So did the tarts. And though years had gone by, she missed him not just as a husband, but as a presence that made the world feel lighter. One day, Jason decided to try something. He had never baked in his life, but he found a recipe. Dumplings. Apple tart. He followed her stories and tried to recreate what Arthur once did. It was messy, flour everywhere, a slightly burnt crust, but it was honest. The next morning, he showed up to the bench with a paper box. "They're not perfect," he said, "but they're for you." Mrs. Harper teared up, not because of the taste, but because someone remembered. And in that moment, something invisible stitched itself between them, a bond no timeline could define. Something was changing in Jason. He started texting his sister again, called his mom, visited an old friend. He realized how disconnected he had become from everyone that ever mattered. Mrs. Harper's stories had quietly reminded him of life's true treasures, not money or titles, but presence, connection, care. One morning she wasn't there. The birds still came, the wind still blew, but the bench felt heavier somehow. Jason found daisies laid gently on her side of the bench, and beneath them a folded note. "Mrs. Harper passed peacefully 2 nights ago. She spoke of a kind young man who made her laugh again. Thank you. She was never alone because of you." Jason sat silently, the box of freshly baked apple tart still in his hands. Tears fell, not from regret, but from love. Days passed, weeks, seasons. The bench remained, so did its story. Jason still came, not to escape anymore, but to be there. One morning, a young man walked by, looking lost, just like Jason once had. Jason smiled, a gentle, welcoming smile, because healing is a gift we pass on, and the bench had taught him that. Sometimes the people you meet by accident are sent by destiny. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Don't forget to subscribe for more motivational story.